It'll be two red guys. I figure one has to be Elm, and the other will be Embla. I don't think we're getting Veronica yet. I guess Elm and Embla are like kind of similar units, so maybe they wouldn't want to do that. So maybe we'll get like Elm and Veronica instead. I'd say Elm is getting sent to Bale OC jail like Fafnir. Oh, that's a real possibility. So maybe it'll be Embla and Veronica. I feel like you can make an argument for every combination of two. We were discussing earlier who our legendary and mythic is going to be. So we got Veronica.
I was once so closed off, alone, that being this open with others is a challenge.
She's a wind legendary. Okay. Panic Smoke 4. Oh no. Looks like it also debuffs. It's like a versus perf. Oh, that is an animation. I don't think I've seen that one. Wait for it. Elm is gone. Elm never existed. There never was an Elm.
Mortals once loved me as they do Asker. I had no choice.
A dark mythic.
No egress.
Looks like she grants some kind of speed or movement buff. Beast agility? Removes the condition to transform. Oh. Okay. She has two perf skills. B and C, right? Asker was a light mythic, yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Suffer as I have.
It'll be really easy to slot Embla into your Ether Raid's defense teams because she doesn't have a requirement to transform. Pretty cool. Yeah, like we were, like I was thinking about it earlier, and like I basically came up with like a rationale for every possible combination of two between Veronica, Embla, and Elm. I think Veronica and Embla was the one I considered last, because someone mentioned that Elm could just get banished, like Freyr did, and Fafnir. Elm fell off so badly that it's funny. There was just no room for him in the story. It was all Letizia, and then Embla. Veronica is a cavalry red tome. She's a wind legendary that grants HP and speed. Personally, I'm okay with her being a wind legendary, because that means if there's like a different legendary coming up that I want, then it's less likely that there'll be wind. That's my rationale. Enclosing Dark, extra special trigger if unit initiates combat or is not adjacent to an ally, grants attack speed +6, neutralizes effects that prevent use follow-up attacks, and following effects will occur during combat based on number of foes within 2 spaces of target. If 1, inflict speed res -4 on foe. If 2 or greater, inflict speed res -8 on foe, and foe cannot counterattack. Cannot counterattack, wow, okay. If unit initiates combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe can counterattack. This seems like a very stacked perf. It seems like a little overkill, where it's like, you can get this wind sweep effect, but also you don't need it, because you're gonna follow-up attack before they can counterattack anyway. What if Enclosure is a tome exclusive inheritable? Enclosure boosts special damage by 25% of unit's attack. If special triggers, neutralizes, reduces damage by X% effects from non-special skills. Why is the cooldown so low? I feel like there's no way this is, there's no way this is, inheritable, right? The cooldown is just way too low. Reduces effect, or sorry, neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. Yeah, every time we get an effect like this, I say it. I think it's lame when we get a special skill that grants a passive effect. It's just, I feel like that's just not what the special skill is for, you know? Vital Astra's a little different, because at least then it's like, the way it's worded, the damage reduction is only active while your special is charged. The way this is worded is just, you get the effect, period. She comes with attack speed, catch 4, SR far trace, good but also boring. Very predictable. Okay, here we go. Panic Smoke 4. After combat, inflicts Blob -3 and Panic on target and foes within 2 spaces of target through their next actions. and grants foe penalty doubler to unit and allies in cardinal directions. Bruh. Foe penalty doubler. Inflicts penalty on foes' attack, speed, defense, rest during combat, equal any current penalty on each of those stats. Wow. It's interesting that it only grants that buff to allies in cardinal directions. That makes it a lot harder to work with in like an Ether Rate's defense comp, for example. In hindsight, Elm never stood a chance, being the same movement type and color as Embla. Yeah, I don't know when they're gonna release him. He's screwed. Unless Elm is the Book 7 OC, he'll get a New Year's all. There we go. He probably will, actually. I don't know, though. Elm is such a non-character. Like, think of all the OCs that have gotten alts. Like, they're just all way more prominent and relevant than Elm. Oder never got an alt, I'm just saying. I feel like Oder is the closest comparison you can make to Elm in terms of story relevance. And even Oder was like way more important. Yeah, but at least Fafnir was important. He was still like the main villain for the most part. Eitri showed up at the very end. So I'll give Fafnir credit for being the main villain of Book 5. Elm, so he got beaten and he had dialogue afterwards. And it was like maybe implied that he was Dunzo, but it wasn't super explicit. Compared to all the other character deaths, it wasn't very explicit. Although I seem to recall Lif and Thracer getting kinda unceremonious deaths in Book 3. Thracer especially. I think Triandra and Plumeria were the same way, where they just kinda... You fight them one last time, and then they're gone. Yeah, I guess he's going to join the Lif Avengers. That's the best he can hope for. Panic Smoke, sorry, we went on a whole tangent about Elm. Panic Smoke 4 is really, really good. It's just obviously prohibitively expensive for most players because you have to summon for a Veronica. It's going to be really tempting to pull for red on this banner, though. I think we're just never going to get, like, a Veronica base version, you know what I mean? Like, I think this might be it. We get Legendary Veronica, and then we get Brave, and then all the other alts. Panic Smoke is good, and also Veronica is good, in case that wasn't clear. Slightly interesting, she doesn't have any perf A, B, or C slot skills, but she has a perf special. The most disappointing thing about Book 6 to me was how much they hated keeping new OCs alive. Yeah, it's like in Book 1, I felt like they were setting it up to where Asker and Embla were eventually going to be major players in like an overarching story. But then they ended up just being temporary, just for one book characters, you know? Also, they're not dragons, which was surprising, but I guess this is more interesting. Ash is still alive. Yeah, you know, Ash also kind of got the Elm treatment. She was never really that relevant. Compare Ash to, like, Reagan. I feel like Reagan was more relevant in her book. Embla is here. She is a red beast flyer. She's a dark mythic. And it looks like she grants res? +5 res? Okay. Oh, this is not a perf skill. This is an inheritable beast slot skill. Wow. Alright. Enclosing Claw. Accelerate special trigger. Every single perf. I'm going to keep complaining about it until I see a perf that doesn't have Accelerate special trigger. Every single perf has this effect, except for Cherches. Outside of combat, if unit HP is greater than 25, grants attack speed, defense res +5 to unit during combat, inflicts penalty on foes' attack speed, defense during combat, equal number of foes within 3 columns or 3 rows, times 3, max 9. Okay, pause. So she gets +5 to all stats, and she inflicts maximum -9 on all stats. Neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -6 on unit, and also, if the number of foes within 3 columns or 3 rows centered on unit is greater than 2, neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack. So just basically allowing her to negate all the effects that would usually prevent her from killing things. As a red flyer beast. And yeah, she's gonna have 1,000,000 speed. I'm pretty sure. She also has guard. So yeah, there you go. Just preventing them from charging specials that would be able to kill her. Beast Agility 3. Removes the condition to transform. If unit speed greater than foe speed, neutralize the effects to prevent units' follow-up attacks during combat. So there we go. She gets like the other half of no follow-up in Beast Agility. Beast Agility seems pretty good. I'm assuming it's going to be not exclusive to birds. It'll be just all... It'd be all except armored. I'm thinking of like Nasala. I think he already has this effect in his perf. So that would leave like, what, Tabarn and Tabarn. Maybe Pirate Nasala wants this. Alright. Severance. At start of turn, inflicts undefended and feud on foes within 3 columns or 3 rows. At start of turn, if a foe is within 3 columns or 3 rows centered on unit, neutralizes any penalty, excluding penalty. Wait, hold on, I need to restart, sorry. Racing to have 3 move on non-beast teams, maybe. Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. If a foe is within 3 columns or 3 rows centered on unit, neutralizes any penalty and grants dodge to unit. So this is like neutralizing it as in like an odd recovery skill would do. Like her debuffs just get negated. So that's kind of nuts. And also just slap on dodge on there for good measure. Undefended. Unit cannot be protected by a savior through their next action. They finally introduce something that just hard counters save skills. We had like a captain skill that negated save skills, but this is the first time that a unit can just do it on their own. So that's kind of nuts. She's going to be insanely good in summoner duels. I don't look forward to fighting her. And yeah, in Ether Rate's defense, she's also insane. You can... I wouldn't say save balls are gone. Excuse me. You just have to be kind of careful about your placement. It's like when Arvel came out and they had like the guard within 3 columns, 3 rows. Like Saver's units can still work around that. You can just place them outside Arvel's range. And so you can avoid the guard effect that way. Oh, but hold on. Oh, I'm now... Okay, now I'm realizing. Undefended. It gets inflicted on the units themselves and not the savior. Okay, I see. Do savior balls survive this in light dark season? Hold on, I gotta think about this. I mean, you have to be careful about your placement. You have to have like your whole squad on one side of the map. If you have 2 Emblas, then you can just shut down the whole map. If anyone's going to be anti-save, it'd be the shut-in Embla. It's fitting. That's a good point. Embla's really good. I kind of want her. It's tempting. I'm not looking forward to fighting her. Light and Dark was already like my less competitive season, and now I have to deal with this. So you can basically just set up your Ether Rate's defense to be like, the only way you can bait my team is to sit in one of these 3 columns. The meta has evolved. I guess it was about time. It's been, what, like a year and a half of save meta supremacy. Are you going all in on this banner, Final Messenger? 2k orbs? Because if so, this is not a bad choice. Who's the other red unit? It's, Nana, yeah. So you get 2 really good legendaries on 2 different seasons. And also Embla. Yeah, red is insanely good. I just spent orbs on Yune of all things. I don't regret it, but green is also good just because of Emir. Emir is extremely annoying to fight. Green has Emir, Dagger, and Hell. Honestly, green is also very appealing to me because I don't have Dagger or Hell, and I don't have Emir. So, Colorless has Bramimond, Micaiah, and Celica. Colorless is not as good. Just because Bramimond is like a little outdated at this point. It's like, you just want 1 copy of him so that you can have him for his defense bonus season. plant a +10 Embla and Veronica. Wow. I wish you good luck with that. That's exciting. Blue has Sita, Deirdre, and Saros. Deirdre is Earth, right? And Sita is Water. So that's at least 2 different seasons. Blue is okay, but obviously you probably wouldn't pull for that color unless you liked Sita or Deirdre. I would say if you're interested in pulling for Sita and Deirdre merges, I think you can maybe do better in terms of color sharing. Ideally, you'd want them to run with like Note or Ular even. Red is the best, and then green, and then blue, and then colorless. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. I think I have... I bought one of the orb packs recently, so I'm almost up to 900 orbs. I could spark on this and it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I wonder... I should be able to wait and see what the Book 7 banner is like, right? If the Book 7 banner is Radiant Dawn, then it's much less likely that I'll pull here. If you were to spark, who would you spark? Oh, it's such a hard choice. I don't want to decide. I think I would have to do Embla. Between the two, I feel like Embla is more required. She's just going to be so strong on Light Dark Season. Veronica also very good, but I think what makes her appealing to me might even just be the Panic Smoke fodder for like Summer Mia. I'm still running Summer Mia on my Dark defense, and I have her with Panic Smoke 3, so yeah. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about Feud. Disables ally skills. Oh, during combat through units' next actions. Wow. So she just isolates you completely. That's thematically appropriate, but also very strong and annoying to fight. So I feel like the counterplay for Embla is to just player phase. Which is unfortunate, because player phase usually requires more brain cells. I would much prefer to just keep end turning with Ascended Fjorm. It's not that easy, they have traps. More likely you would just use Summer Edelgard. That's what everybody uses in player phase now. Like when they beat my defense using player phase, they always use Yuri and Summer Edelgard. Yeah, exactly, for months now, so no sweat off my back. Yeah, now is the time to invest in Summer Edelgard meta. Both Elm and Savior found dead in a ditch. 2 casualties today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to pull on this banner? Are you looking forward to fighting Embla? Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun discussing the trailer with you guys. Join the Discord to stay up to date on everything I'm doing. Subscribe on YouTube, Blippi Source 2. And I'm going to head out. Have a good night, guys.